already. I am getting harassed. Absolutely harassed by a couple of bees who are a little cranky with me. I don't really blame them. After all, I've just been bothering their houses and they're telling me not to. I think they're being pretty polite, all things considered. Welcome to another beekeeping video with Brian in Melbourne, Australia. This is my third hive inspection for the day, and I'm recording this morning on an iPhone 15 Pro Max on a stand. That's you guys. And if you're seeing the camera looking at me, this is a GoPro Hero 13 Black, which I must admit I'm really impressed with. Great video quality, hands-free operation, which I could do with the iPhone, but the Hero 13 gives you really good point of view video. So without further ado, we're going to get into this hive inspection. This is quite a lively hive. I do expect them to get a bit feisty. So and I have a hole in my bee suit under the wing there, so if they get in there, expect to see me doing the Australian haka, which is a thing we do normally when we look for our wallets, sort of, slapping thing. Anyway, let's get into it. So this is a Langstroth hive. It's got 2 boxes. It's quite a feisty hive, as I believe I've mentioned before. It's a bit quiet this morning for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe they're just lining me up, lulling me into a false sense of security. Let's see what happens, eh? Nope, I'm going to need my beekeeping hive tool. Old school hive tool. There we go. Nice and gentle. Now this hive has been very helpful to me, and it's a non-standard hive as well. It's only got 7 frames across the top. Built off some dude who made it himself out of plywood. Did a great job, because honestly this is one of the easiest long langs I've had to work on. If you're with my GoPro, you can see all the girls hanging out the entrance to that hive. They're all coming back. And this one's starting to get there as well. Give it 30 seconds for the smoke to take. And they're hanging out on the entrance there. They're welcoming to me to come to say hello. Now this hive's been very helpful to me over the last few weeks, but I'm a little concerned because what I've been doing is I did a split a little while ago with a new nucleus hive. And to do that, I had to take some honey from some of my existing hives, and this was one of them. And I had to take brood and all that. So I want to make sure that this hive is queen right, which it should be. But I also want to make sure that this hive is making enough honey. And as we saw in the last beehive inspection, that hive is making honey pretty solidly. So I expect this one will be too. Whoa! Again, one of the reasons I like my iPhone, rather my, one of the reasons I like my GoPro, it doesn't fall over like that. It's held on by a clip. So I don't think I'll see any honey on this outside one. Actually, no, I can see it there. What am I talking about? But yeah, if you like beekeeping and you want to watch an Aussie beekeeper going about his thing, checking hives, telling bad dad jokes, by all means subscribe. It'd be great to have you on a journey. I didn't loosen that one up before I tried to lift it, which was a bit silly. If you don't have one of these, get one. Frame grabber. Make life so much easier. That's an empty hive, rather an empty frame. A few bees randomly doing stuff. That's an empty one. Another empty mostly. Oh no, we've got some honey going on here. Bit of a weird hive, this one. Bit of a weird frame. Got a bit of honey on it. Let them keep doing their things. Okay girls, I get it. Empty frame. This is one of the ones I swapped out 2 weeks ago. You can see them putting honey on it. They're working on it quite clearly. They tend to work in the middle first, by the way. So those are normally the ones that should have honey on them. But like I say, I stole them for a nucleus hive that I'm growing. I'd steal 3 or 4 frames of honey for them. Yep. So that's a brand new frame that went in 2 weeks ago, and it feels like they've got about 500 grams of honey on it. I can see them starting to fill that one. Now this is good. It means they're making honey. They're not consuming, they're making. I probably will not be harvesting out of this frame, out of this hive again, which is sad because I love honey. On the other hand, look at that, that's tempting. This is nearly full. So we've got one nearly full, but that's one out of the whole top, and that's a whole summer's worth. So I don't tend to harvest as much up here. And it's just starting to rain. So I may have to cut this short. Was that rain or was that bees swatting me? No, it was rain. So we've got a few drops of rain happening. Do I have a quick look? Do I, don't I? It's hard not to, you know, while I'm here. Now, if you're wondering what this metal thing is, this is a queen excluder as well. Now, I have a plastic queen excluder, but I actually prefer the metal ones when I can get them. They're a bit more expensive, but I think they're nicer on the bees because they've got rounded ends. See how those wires have got rounded ends, whereas the plastic ones have got edges on them? I just think these might be nicer for the bees. I did say this was a really active hive, didn't I? The reason I need to know this is if I know this hive's got, say, 3 frames of honey stashed away down here, then that's probably what they'll need for winter. Which means I might be able to harvest a frame. Now, if I was on the flats, where it's warmer, yeah, that's brood, solid brood, queen right, so that's what I needed to know. Any drone brood happening? Not really, but definitely lots of brood, so this hive's doing well, active queen. It's always been a solid performer, this hive, in terms of brood raising. Look at that. Yeah, everywhere. I'm also checking for signs of varroa. I know it'll get here, probably this year. Hoping it won't. But in all my inspections so far it hasn't. Done some shake tests, done some wash tests. Haven't seen it. But it will get here soon. Look at that. Solid brood pattern. Really good queen at this hive. Strong queen too. More brood. So they're raising a lot of brood in this hive. A lot. And that tells me if they're raising brood still like this, I probably shouldn't take any honey off them because I'm not seeing any honey down here at all. I'm just seeing brood. And for reference, the temperature out here today is about 16 degrees, 17 degrees. So there's a bit of honey there. So we're starting to get into honey cells, which is good. I did tell you this was a strong hive, didn't I? Have a look at the way these girls are responding. Even though I smoked them up, they're still a little bit tetchy. I don't know what tetchy means. It means grumpy. Cool thing about a GoPro too, is this is shooting in 4K. So when you want to do, POV beekeeping videos with a GoPro 13 black, the Hero 13 shoots in 4K, which means I can slow this down, zoom in, have a really good look. That's if I'm using my source footage. YouTube tends to scale it down to 1080p. But my original footage, we've still got brood on the outside frame, which is really unusual. Brood there too, again, really unusual. So a lot of brood rearing activity going on. Not much honey down the bottom there, maybe one frame. Good to know. And very little honey up the top. So I'll check this again in a couple of weeks. And if I don't see a significant improvement in the honey situation, I'm going to remove one or two of these old frames, put a frame feeder in, and start feeding sugar syrup, like I'm doing with one of my other hives. And the only reason I'm doing that, look at those girls. Aren't they beautiful? The only reason I'm doing that is to make sure they have enough to get them through the winter. Sugar honey's not great honey, but it's better than no honey. Think of it like, you know, rations. Gets them through the winter. There's their lid. Remember, out of all of these, this is the only hive that's not currently insulated. And isn't it a coincidence that the honey situation in this hive is probably the worst out of the lot? So I may have to start feeding it. That's all good. It'll help this hive get through the winter and come out the other side strong as ever. Because this is actually my favourite hive. Well, it's not my favourite beehive. That's my long Langstroth. But this particular brood, this particular hive, has had about 7 splits off it. This queen is super active, so I want to keep her going. Anyway, thanks for stopping by my beekeeping videos. Great to have the company. If you like what I do comment, do share. And yeah, if you like beekeeping, subscribe. Thanks for coming by.